We were behind in that first game of the series, but we're ready to jump straight into game number 2. We're not even having a break. We're going to catch up to the live game. So looking at the draft, it's JDG on the blue side this time around. They've got Xayah, Rakan, Ari, Lee Sin, and Renekton. If that ain't, like, I don't know, I was going to say 2020. If that ain't every year LPL composition for the last few years, I don't know what is.
Yeah, and this time JDG have a go button. They have Kanavi on the Lee Sin, flipped around that, so he can have that. He's looking for a top dive.
Speaking of, yeah, 369 in trouble. Flashes, gets a knock-up. It's not enough though. Kanavi, first blood.
What a different start from JDG. They were slapped around in game 1 after they made a single mistake. They don't want to sit and wait for the game to come to them. Game number 2, missing on the Rakan as well, is another go button. He needs a hook there, but I think his presence as the game goes on will be so important. That Hyman against nice little lane pressure, but just couldn't make that team fight play. He very much can on a Rakan, which he did absolute work on last year on JDG.
He certainly did. And Rakan, such a powerful pick for missing for anyone, but also Ruler on Xayah. He's literally got a skin for this champion. This guy is an absolute menace on the pick. Cannot wait to see. In fact, he is playing his own skin as well. Great to see that. And we'll see if he's got what it takes to get to those late game team fights. Because that's the one thing about Xayah versus Smolder. You will be outranged, and being outranged by Smolder is a dicey position to be in.
It is. However, this is Ruler's Xayah. The great thing, so if we kind of take the blueprint from the first game and say that JDG, they're typically very disciplined, they hold on to summoners very well, it's hard to get under their skin. If you do that as Xayah, you get to 2-3 items. What we've seen from Ruler is he will aggressively flash forward and even assassinate enemy carries as well. Now, Smolder can't do much about that at 2 items. Maybe later on you're outranged and stuff like that, but I trust Ruler to do some magic on this champion. Of course, he's wearing his own skin from Samsung Galaxy back in 2017. It's been a long time since he's been to that kind of podium, but still the memories remain.
He's been close to that kind of podium. He's managed to win domestically within the LPL, and he's hoping to perhaps get some more international stuff going on. Managing to be MSI champion, but Worlds eluded him last year. I think a team that so many people at home were hoping to get that golden road, both LPLs, MSI, and the World Championship, but knocked out by T1 twice, 2 years running in the semi-finals. It really does hurt to think about. But JDG gonna try again this year. Yagao back among the roster.
Of course, Yagao that's a good look onto missing. Good line chunk. The thing is, with something like the Smolder, I know we saw some solo kill, well, the 2v2 kills in lane a little earlier in the day. The thing is, you're not necessarily looking for kills. Just hitting champions on good cooldowns means that you can just get a lot more stacks than you expect on that Smolder in the early game. JackeyLove and Meiko using that hook to make sure that it is just point and click. See in the mid lane, Creme, again, he is not known as the mage player. He's had the Akali banned away from him. Everyone still remembers that one, but still, Creme going towards the Orianna. He's only played 10 games of it in his career, as far as I'm aware. Yagao on the Ahri. It's a good laning matchup. I like the Orianna matchup into Ahri. You can chuck her out very well. You can see that's leading to a CS lead, and Yagao, he'd love to have a bit of a break from that, so you can actually start making some of the plays that he couldn't quite land in the first game.
See if he finds his opportunities. Good to see, though, that JDG start themselves strong, right? The plays on towards 369 in that top side. Flash still on cooldown for 369, but I don't expect Kanavi to be back up there. Yagao looking for the charm, but great sidesteps from Creme. 2v1 actually winning the trade with damage onto Yagao.
Ooh, almost gets himself the shockwave back as well.
Oh, Ignite, the bottom side, Ruler's in trouble. JackeyLove trying to all in as this. His mom just sort of misses the mark on that one. Burnt the cakes in the oven, was late to school to pick him up, and now doesn't kill him under the tower.
So this is another Smolder lane, which is doing well in the 2v2. A good couple of hooks coming out from Meiko. I think Meiko and Tian, they are part of the real reason why top esports can accelerate so well. As soon as they get on the board, you show an opening, things go poorly for you after that point. Meiko on the Nautilus, a champion that the LPL has been going back to again and again. Has been such a big part of that. Kanavi still has himself that kick, has himself a flash coming up in a few seconds. Not quite there. Good find Meiko.
He's got the kick, does knock him into the wall. There we go, what a combo. Kanavi, secret agent, sneaks past all of that vision in the river. and finds his way into the bottom lane. Punishment for the aggression of Top Esports.
The composition from JDG allows them so much more playmaking in the early game, and Top Esports, they were the ones that kind of controlled that a little bit in the last game. Tian on the lead sim. And now 369 throwing that ult down top side, but he can't quite get that knockout onto Sheer to lock him under turret.
Tough one there, can't quite finish that kill off. And again, Sheer, fantastic laning phase here on the Renekton. He's got the aggressive pick instead of having to play the Cassante this time around. And it feels like he's really using that pick well. Obviously, getting a bit of presence from Kanavi in that top side, but building a CS lead off of the back of that, forcing the reset out now from 369. So a lot of these minions will be missed. It's a plate as well. Sheer off to the races so far in this game.
What are we going to go look for here? Ah, the secret agent Kanavi. We saw it just as he was coming down towards bot side. So it's a while since we've seen that one. Gets past all of the vision line that he sees. With so many wards on bot side, Top Esports, yeah, they should be feeling safe, but they don't quite get that full coverage. Kanavi gets in and gets the kill.
And Ruler able to just get his QE off there, so he gets the assist as well. It didn't really offer a lot of damage to the play, but still gets a little bit of gold. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I definitely think it's definitely the right thing to do to get some gold on the AD carry. Xayah not doing that much damage early on, but honestly, the QEs do a surprising amount of poke. I feel like people often underestimate quite how much poke Xayah can bring to a lane.
I just remember the horror stories that we used to have of Lethality Xayah, because that's what that chapter was all about. They have to kind of change damage away into terms of crit scaling more on the E to make it kind of railroad straight in towards the more crit build. Now see that Top Esports going towards Grubs on top side potentially. Lands, but nothing more land towards that. JDG, they have themselves ults available, they have themselves flashes available. The problem is, there's a Nautilus ult on the other side, they have to be quite careful going in.
They do. Missing arriving on the scene with their quickness about to come off of cooldown. I think Top Esports are quite happy to respect what JDG are bringing here, not overforce the play. They got that one grub, they've got the XP, go for that one. They're quite happy with that one. Drake coming up in 20 seconds as well. CTN already moving towards that bottom side of the map. JackeyLove looking to have Prio, I think, in the bottom side as well. Certainly will if Meiko arrives on the scene. And that could set up for the Drake for Top Esports.
Potentially could do. I think JDG, Top Esports at this point in the game, last time around we were saying, well, things might slow down. There's a lot of summoners available. The go buttons aren't really there. We've got the Nautilus and the Rakan. The LPL has moved more towards these kind of champions over and stuff like that. We actually saw some kind of in there earlier in the split. Nami and earlier. It'd be harder to press that go button, but as it stands, no Top Esports were roaming down towards bot side in force. And the JDG would pick up that dragon. So, that's like the first game. No early soul going to be on the table. It's one apiece from that early game. Means that we are not going to be put there into like early soul trap territory, which can kind of force the hand instead of waiting for a better moment. With the Hex Gates as well, quicker roams around the map, and of course a very powerful soul to cap things off.
Look at the CS lead down in that bottom lane. Ruler building that pretty heavily off of the back of Meiko getting caught out. Kanavi's been all over the map so far. 2 kills in his pocket. Kanavi's leasing, over the years, he's sort of built a bit of a reputation for things like the Kindred and these carry junglers in Italy a bit as well. But his Lee Sin is still always my favorite of his champions to watch. He's so clean on the pick. His mechanics are fantastic, but also the way that he plays the map, the way that he uses this jungler is always a pleasure to watch. 369 is in all kinds of trouble here. Sheer starts the play off. The quickness is in, and the QE once again from Ruler. This time picks up a kill.
Oh, what a beautiful engage from Missing as well. Sheer flashes in, and Missing uses both of his battle dances to get double gap closer before his combo comes in. Doesn't even need to use the flash to close the distance onto 369, who's had a fantastic split in his own right, but you can't survive a combo like that against his old bot lane he played with last year. Sheer might be returned the favor on the bot side, but here comes Kanavi using that map play, as you're saying, and then the Hex Plate's also coming into play to make sure that Sheer is also not returned that favor.
JackeyLove is playing with absolutely zero respect for Sheer. I'm terrified that he's going to get all in there, but obviously he has his cleanse, has his flash. And Sheer knows that this is not an AD carry to be trifled with. You know that if JackeyLove's mispositioning like that, there may be an angle for him to punish you. He may be trying to bait you. But don't know, Smolder in the early game. I'm never really sure. I never know what to expect when I watch JackeyLove. He's just too good.
Yeah, and I think that's a great conversation to have too. You know, we talked about recent former players. JackeyLove, I think last year, people, because they didn't see him internationally, and, you know, largely the team of top esports, despite the fact that they made regional finals, was kind of said to be a bit of a failure. They're kind of going to forget that. You know, JackeyLove had a fantastic split. Meiko going to get CC'd up here, potentially blowing ult. I think he's fine, just he doesn't even have to blow the flash, but back to JackeyLove. He had a fantastic 23. I think that, on the whole, the JackeyLove moments where you say, well, you know, maybe you overstepped, it's a bit of an unwise moment, feels like he has tempered them a little bit more to do them, at least in a point of the game where he can actually win the game off of those players, and it's not just a complete question mark as to why he's doing it. It's continued that into 24, and I think he genuinely is right up there with the best LPL AD carries.
I think he's up there with the best AD carries in the world right now. His form is fantastic. Oh, coming out from Smolder to clear the wave, the bot side will deny. No, actually, the fourth plate goes over. Oh, managing to just about squeeze the damage out there just before plates fall off. And look at that, 4 plates top, 4 plates bot. This is a huge early game from JDG. They're almost 3,000 gold up as Sheer once again goes for these massive trades against 369.
He's doing a good job of stepping out of those sweet spots. You see the 369 still turning around, good damage nonetheless. As the Eclipse are enacting, it's not going to be the Black Cleaver like we saw last game from 369, which can help you get a bit more tanky, a bit more frontline shred. The Eclipse, the shield helps you be tanky, but it's mainly about the damage. You're not really as bulky without just the raw HP, the Black Cleaver. So JDG, they have themselves that Eclipse for the big burst combo. Fantastically comboing up in the side lanes. It wouldn't surprise me to see them keep on that. Something like the Smolder, you don't really want to play towards him if at all possible. We have ourselves a cross map again. It's been a little bit of a slow affair. Again, we haven't seen like the huge cataclysmic fights. It has been those opportunistic ones over anything. With the outer towers being traded. What we're now going to see is a lot more open map with a lot of these extra wards that you see into the jungle kept up for longer amounts of time, and that means that maybe we're going to get ourselves some more flanking plays in the next few minutes as the towers fall.
So, I want to bring up another statistic as we broach the 15-minute mark. We've got a 3,000 gold lead for JDG, which means top esports at a deficit at the 15-minute mark. Oh, shockwave onto Yagao. I don't think they can commit to the full dive there. Good damage onto Yagao, forces his ultimate as well. Creme, you've got to get out of there, buddy. Top esports, we talked about how they've got a 100% win rate when they've got a lead at the 15-minute mark. The other side of that, though, they have a 0% win rate when they are behind at 15 minutes. Top esports have yet to win a game while down at the 15-minute mark so far this split. Now, granted, they've only been down in 5 games all split. Those are the 5-game losses that they found for themselves. So, it's certainly not a huge sample pool to pull from, but even still hilarious that they are either 100 or 0.
The thing that is great about doing stats in the LPL, one, it can be sometimes hard to get some of the more intricate numbers, but we have such a good sample size because we play so many more games. A regular season is 16 best of 3s per team. It's an absolutely huge amount. It's only the single round robins have 17 total. It means that we get a really good picture of, at least in a numerical sense, how these teams are put out on paper to get later into the split. We are closing ever closer towards first. Honestly, the winner of this will be second place. This is the battle for second place behind BLG. Unlikely that you can go towards first with a 2-series event, but rather at the top of the table as Shockwave comes in for a little bit of post there. Top esports, great in game 1, but it feels like JDG has woken up for this game 2, and they are putting top esports into a very difficult position where it feels like they are just kind of nuclear around the Smolder before JDG can explode them with the next fight of the game.
The question will be, can JDG explode with the next fight of the game? Can top esports defeat their own statistics? It's a 4,000 gold lead for 17 minutes. Like, it's a really good start. Yagao just farming up on the side lanes now. He's got his Malignant, so this Ari will really come online. But it's been Kanavi who's been pushing the game forward so far. And off the back of a lot of work that Sheer has been putting in this side lane, I'm really impressed by him today. Subbing in for Flandre and doing such a good job in the side lane. Excited for the prospects that this guy is bringing to the table. Not just for JDG, but maybe just in the future of LPL. I'm excited to see what I'm excited to just be here for the beginning of this career.
I'm just happy to be here. You know, yeah. I'm enjoying. Sometimes I think real. Sometimes it's just nice to sit and watch good League of Legends. Yeah. I love watching the best players of this game teach us something new about it. Top Esports, they showed us the opportunities they can take in game 1. It feels like now JDG, they're in a bit of a sweet spot where they're about to hit 2 items just before the enemy team. It's a huge break point for them. When they hit 2 items, you can start threatening the Baron as well, as that'll be spawning in the next couple of minutes as well. And if they manage to have particularly Ruler with all summoners, Ruler is pretty much unparalleled. They're using his summoners on stuff like the Xayah to be an assassin Xayah in a lot of these team fights to get value out of it. Top Esports, if they can, they would love to be able to get a flash or an ult out of Ruler. It's very hard to do that though without committing someone like a Nautilus to death, basically. You need a good shockwave beside that. It feels like Top Esports are kind of hard to force away some of those defensive tools.
Carroll comes down in the mid lane. Oh, hook onto missing, but he is playing Rakan, so just dashes away once again, gets over towards his AD carry. That's the beauty of the Lovers duo. You get the extra range on the Battle Dance, I think it's called.
Yes, on the Battle Dance.
So keeps you that little bit extra safe.
Also, one of the big things too, which will be important in this kind of game too, is that so Xayah's W, when she gets the increased attack speed and the extra damage on hit as well. That also applies to Rakan, but Rakan, it only activates after you, in terms of the extra movement speed that you get when you hit an enemy champion. Now, if Rakan does that, it buys the movement speed for both of you, and you both benefit from it. So if Rakan goes in with the Xayah W running, they can then enable the Xayah to run around with super speed with the Ghost running too. Because that Top Esports needs to be very, very careful about letting missing into the plate in the right kind of spacing for Ruler to take off and mid lane outer turret is down, summoners and ults still available from JDG as Top Esports. They are once again struggling to thread the needle in this game, especially compared to game 1.
Keeping my eyes on JackeyLove as well. He's been quietly farming this entire time. You expect the Smolder to start to come online at this point.
He's been loudly farming with the ult.
Well, that's true. That's true. And also, on the pre-nerf ult, this is not the patch where Smolder's ult cooldown gets nerfed. That's the next patch. I believe that's 6 that's coming in. So excited for that one, but the wave clear is still very, very powerful for the Smolder in the early game. JackeyLove making use of that fact. 369 just trying to clear these waves, deny the side lane pressure, but tier 2 already taken on the top side for JDG, now trying to pressure the tier 2 in the bottom side, and they are more than happy to just play this out. Low and slow. Feels very good for them so far in this game. It's just whether or not they can make these fights work. They're going to be looking for chaos. They're going to be looking for snap engages later on. Top Esports very happy to play more of a front-to-back style and maybe even a pick style.
Yeah. The thing is, I think JDG, in some ways, a fast game doesn't work for them only for the Xayah. I think for the rest of the team, the fast game works, but if you go too fast and the Xayah's taking fights without Flash, Ghost, and Ultimate, I think the game gets a lot easier for Top Esports. I think that's why JDG haven't been pulling the trigger so readily themselves, because honestly, Ruler on this Xayah has been so awesome on it. He's one of the best players in the championship of all time. Skin grip, here comes the fight. Top Esports might be stuck in the choke here.
Tian really committing to this one still, keeping his ult. There we go, Crescent Guard used, Flash used as well. A lot on cooldown now for Tian, just as Drake spawns. This is a great trade for JDG.
Well, Chop, I think Creme is just there trying to like see if he can threaten them around that choke point with the ball, using it as the bowling ball, the wrecking ball. See if he can get a shockwave onto multiple members and stop them getting free entrance into the river. Can't stay up there too long though, they lost mid prior. Looks like JDG could have just come through the other part of it. Using the Hescates now. Sheer maybe going too far, but he's fairly tanky at this point. JDG in the river first.
This should just be Drake going down, to be honest. They do it so quickly with the Xayah. That's going to be solve point. JDG 3, Drake's the word.
Ow!
Missing. Oh, he's alive. He's on 1 HP, and there's his lead to finish the kill. Fantastic little snipe there from JackeyLove. And now towards the mid lane go Top Esports.
Yeah, one of the other things nerfed about Smolder in the future is, you know, some of the width of his abilities. Maybe that would have saved him. At another time, Ruler now getting chunked out, but no ults available for Creme to finish that kill. JDG give up their first kill of the game, and they lose the Flash on Missing. That's quite important. Missing with Flash can reach the backline quite easily. Without it, makes it a much more torrid affair. So, Top Esports, with a brief numbers advantage, Missing now comes back out onto the map. Don't manage to get themselves the Dragon, but they do just stop JDG from just pushing up as aggressively as they were before.
Top Esports just being bullied out of the top side of the jungle here as JDG muscle in. Meiko looking for a fight here. Shockwave on cooldown right now. The kick is huge, and I don't really know what Top Esports were looking for here. This doesn't feel like a fight they could win. JackeyLove has arrived. Perhaps he can carry on the Smolder, but he doesn't even have the execute online just yet. Still trying to get these stacks throughout the fight, but it's just not going to be enough. And JDG now with a chance on Baron.
Well, Tian has no blast cone, no flash, and no ultimate. You're waiting for JackeyLove to do something, or 369 to get into the pit. They do not have the numbers to make a difference here. So after having the opportunistic pick, they're going to give up the Baron. They're sticking their heads in. I just don't see what happens here. It's all on 369 on the flank.
Top Esports happens potentially as JackeyLove's still alive right now, and he's finally got the execute online. The Q's flying through, but Ruler is still going strong for the time being. That's one for 369 on the top side of the player's sheer. Gets onto JackeyLove. The cleanse keeps him alive as Kanavi peeled by 369. Another kill goes down, and Top Esports, they try and make it happen. 369 versus Sheer as Jackie gets the triple, and 369 chasing his lane opponent down, reminding Sheer who the GOAT is in the top lane. Top Esports onto the Baron once more.
Oh, it's flip-flopped yet again. JDG had the numbers advantage, but it's 369 that really makes the difference on the flank, battling against the odds, and now potentially securing Top Esports their own Baron with the Hex Gates. It means that Tian will be able to get closer back towards the Baron and to secure it with a smite. You can see missing here. I don't think it's just him and Sheer that can do much here.
Tian gets the Hex Gate as well. A TP comes in from Yagao. They're going to fight this one once again. Quickness comes in. Meiko tanking for the time being. This Creme is low. Flashes out the backside of the pit. They need to get onto these carries. The Shockwave whiffs though. 369 is down. Tian in the pit trying to burst the Baron, and he takes it in the end. Double kill for Yagao. As Sheer might have gone too far now. Is JackeyLove trying to finish that one? Tian in a 1v3 on the opposite side of the play. There's one for JackeyLove. Tian's still going strong somehow. Top Esports, they deny the Baron at least.
They get it onto two members. JackeyLove and Creme will be able to Baron up. JackeyLove, you need to be careful here though. He has flash, but he might just die for this.
Kanavi wants the kill. Flash, and the blast cone keeps him safe. The Q won't be followed by Kanavi. My god, this is chaos.
But the blast code cancelled the Q mid-flight. That's the reason he's safe. Kanavi potentially going to follow it up with a kill after, with a kick after that too. Where the hell are we starting this replay? Okay, this is the first fight in the enemy jungle before JDG go towards the Baron. I mean, it's a fantastic kick from Kanavi. Gets right onto Creme, who doesn't manage to stand his ground behind his front line. And with the extra mobility, the resets from Ahri, feels like it's so much easier for them to walk towards it. Problem is, after that, you don't have a lot of those big ultimates. And Ruler, despite the fact that he has everything up, can't take the fight in the way that he wants to. Loses almost all of his HP before he can turn fire again and use that ultimate to zone off an area of the fight. 369 on the other side of this, alongside JackeyLove, more than enough damage at this point to threaten the carries. Ruler does get an assassination, but it's not enough to stop 369 cleaning up.
Look at that damage from 369 on the sweet spot. Chases Sheer away as well. Yagao 4-1 and 2. And I will say, in this mid lane, it's been a bit tough for Top Esports. Creme having a difficult time trying to impact the fights, getting caught out in that one by Kanavi. A couple of these shockwaves as well. A little lackluster. I need to see a bit more from the new Top Esports mid lane. And like I said before, the legacy he has to live up to. Knight in the mid lane, rookie following him. Now Creme stepping into the roster. Needs to perform in games against the rivals of JDG.
So 30 seconds until the Hextech Dragon. JDG, looks like they're giving up the mid lane outer turret to make sure they have positioning in bot side to make sure they can get towards bot river. Last minute the Baron above Top Esports is much easier for them to push out waves with JDG. They have themselves resets, they can use the Hextech Dragon to get onto the map easier. Yagao doesn't have teleport, he will be late to the spawn of this just about. He's get himself an important completion, gets himself the Horizon focus. So 3-item combo from Yagao. Top Esports though, they are the ones who can control this choke point. While Creme has had difficult fights before this, if you get good positioning here, that shockwave, which we haven't really seen be that impactful yet, could change everything.
It's also a hell of a combo between the Shockwave as well as Smolder's Qs and his ult hitting onto everyone. That is terrifying damage that can come out from Top Esports. Yagao goes mind the charm. Top Esports control the river for now. Remember though, a single smite from Kanavi can still get Hextech Soul for the side of JDG.
Really important that Ruler was stood in that kind of point there. Now see Yagao going over. Are they going to engage onto him? No, he goes to the other side. Here comes Kanavi. One of them's looking for a flank, but Top Esports holding their lines.
Kanavi goes back into the pit. Tian has a way in. The feathers go in, but it's taken. That's Hayes Soul. And now onto the back line they go. JackeyLove still surviving for the time being. He's trying to peel a missing will fall, but Yagao dives onto the back line and annihilates both carries. JDG wipe Top Esports.
Top Esports see off the first couple of flank attempts, but they can't see off them all. And they go in towards the Dragon, lose the flip, lose the fight, lose the game. We're going to game 3.
Reminiscent of game number 1, JDG put the pressure on and forced the fight over the Soul. This time it's them coming out on top. Ruler on his own skin, grabbing another win for himself, but Yagao really the leader of the charge in that final fight, killing both Creme and JackeyLove. This Ari looking magnificent in game 2.
It's been a while since we've seen JDG versus Top Esports at the real top of the table. It felt like it took a backseat to JDG BLG last year, but make no mistake, this matchup is still as hot as ever. And the fact that it's going the distance, it's great for you, it's great for me, it's great for all of us to see more of these teams playing top-level League of Legends.
It's absolutely fantastic. I love this matchup. Even with some of the players changing over the years, it's still an absolutely insane matchup. And I want to say it again, Sheer has been fantastic in the 1v1 against 369. I was worried about that substitution. I'm not worried anymore. He's looking amazing. We're going to go to a break. We're going to go into game 3, and then we're going to find out who comes out on top. This is essentially a battle for second seed. JDG aren't going down without a fight.